All right, you're hearing a little rain outside that we have. I mean, we have just been having a monsoon down here in Texas, where I'm at. One of my favorite projects that has been just, people have written me so much about is when I did the broken heart. And someone asked the other day, said, well, can you, I think the original broken heart was around, yeah, I think it was around 5 inches. It was a larger heart, in other words, to give to someone that we had. And so someone asked me, could you miniaturize that, in other words, where you can make more and give them to people, in other words. I wouldn't go any further. This is actually 2 inches, so actually I went down a little more than half of the original size. This is 2 inches down this way and 3 inches across here. And this is 3/4 inch basswood. Now, a lot of people say, well, how do you get the heart and how do you get the pattern and all that stuff? It's very simple. You go on the internet, you say, excuse me, I'm sorry. You put in heart pics or whatever it is, heart, and it brings up these hearts. And then you print it out, and then you take it down to a copier, and you reduce the size of it. And or maybe your computer even does it. It reduces the size of the picture anyway. So you have this small pattern. It's no big deal. It's not a big thing. Now this is a miniaturized version of the original one that I did. And so if you remember, you would have to go back to the old one. What we did is we took the heart, and I just began to make a little thing like this. To signify the heart itself. And what I did is I just followed my knife down, 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 and down. And then I took my knife and I just followed it like this, turned it like this, turned it like that, turn it like that, and turn it like that, in other words. So what I did, and then I come back and I remove it even more, in other words, to make it even a little bit deeper. So I used a zigzag type pattern for the heart. And this is a very simple project, but we give them what people started writing me and telling me, well, they love them because they give people they give them to people who have lost loved ones or been through a divorce or done something like that, in other words. And these are very popular. So as you can see, I cut my piece, and so you basically see that the heart is broken in here, in other words. Now let's take, and also, now over in here, I had a bandage, and all I did was just draw a thing like this, and then I drew it down here, and I cut this out of here. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper because we're going to bring this heart down, of course. What I'm saying is, this is like a bandage, and I'll show you how we do this. And of course, this will be done like this. Okay, now you want to go just around the heart a little bit, getting this down just a little bit. You want to work this. Wow, I got birds all over the place. I'm sorry. So you want to kind of go around it, give it some shape. Holy cow, what in the world is going on out here? Throw some popcorn out there. Man, they are gotten crazy out there. They must be talking to one another. I don't know. These marks off. Okay, and just kind of go around it, taking the saw marks off of it. You want to give it a little shape to it. And we're going to come back and do this again. What I'm saying is we're going to cut this against once we kind of get it. Now, it's okay to go ahead and just sort of get the edges of the back, but you want the back to kind of stay, you don't want it to be too round, but that's part of it. That goes with getting this part round also, in other words. Just cut that a little bit more. So as you can see, as we begin to, because see, you have to round this off a little in the back here, because that helps give it the what you need. Okay, just sort of go around and like I said, this is not a difficult project. it's not. And I always like to, at the end here, I like to sort of bring this bottom part forward, just kind of like this. At the end here, so we can kind of okay, just sort of like that. So we go around and we. All right, now we're going to recut this a little bit, and we're going to do that and recut this a little bit, because that's going to be a bandage, is what it is. Bring this out just a little bit more. A little bit more. Now a bandage, of course, we want to bring that down just a little bit. We don't want to cut it too deep. And let's just sort of get this. You want it to just basically come above, you know, how a bandage would look, in other words, as it comes upon. And we're just going to kind of okay, and on the ends, bring that down, and bring this down on the ends. Okay, sort of like that, in other words. All right, now let me cut a little bit more in here and just come out just a little bit more. See how that is? Now, over here, and what we're going to do, we're going to put, let me kind of bring this down just a little bit so that it becomes more level with our bandage. Now over here, we're going to draw a band-aid, and it's just like a long oval shape is what it is. We're going to draw a band-aid, and in the middle we just put these two things here. And in doing this, we have to, now you can in doing this, we come around with the knife, be careful, we come around with the knife around the band-aid, and we lift it up, we start taking things away. Okay, now we use the tip of our knife You can also use a V-tool on this. I'm just using the knife, but you can also use a V-tool to go around the little band-aid here. Now we don't want it too deep. What I'm saying is we have to make it deep enough because we have to see how I'm just kind of taking some away from it. It's just sort of like relief. You just sort of bring this down. Okay. Now remember, it's a broken heart, so it doesn't have to be just perfect. There's going to be some issues with a broken heart. You know, I mean, it's not going to be. Now we want to go in the middle here, and we want to cut just a little bit and lift that up. That's going to be where the middle of our band-aid is. And then we want to bring that down just a little bit in there. And like I said, we may have to just take a little bit more off in here to give it a little bit more depth. A little bit more depth. And then we kind of go around here. Now, when this is painted is when you really begin to see the key to it. Okay, I'm going to come over here and just get these saw marks. Off here. Okay. And we'll bring that down just a little bit more. Down just a little bit more to make it look like a band-aid. We'll take a little bit more off in here to lift that band-aid up a little bit more. Doesn't have to come up a whole lot. Like I said, you can do this with a V-tool. I'm just doing it with a knife. And like I said, this is a broken heart, folks. So remember, I mean, it's not going to be a perfect heart. It's been broken. It's been... So you want it to look a little bit, you know, you don't want to look this sweet Valentine's Day heart. See, is what I'm trying to emphasize is you don't want this perfect Valentine's Day heart. You want it to be a little bit crude because the heart's been broken. And now I also take the wood burner and I put little stitches in it and everything like that. In other words, like I do over here, I put little stitches in it. And we want it. We don't. Like I said, we don't want it to look like a Valentine's Day heart. That's one thing we don't. We want it to look more like it's been broken and needs repair and things like that, because that's what a broken heart is. Okay. All right, let's see. Now, when we do this, we're going to put little things on it. Now, you can do a variety. It depends on how you want your broken heart. I've seen people where they actually do it, and they put the little stitches in here and everything like that. But that's sort of like mending the heart. In other words, I want this to look like a broken heart. You know, that it's in great need of repair and stuff like that. So just kind of going around. See, this is what I'm talking about, and we're going to go through the painting process of this also. So we're going to come back and finish this up, and then we'll be done with it.